All right. This is how I'm going to start the whole piece off. I just want you to rattle off a bunch of negative slang terms for offensive linemen.
People call us hogs,
pigs, war pigs,
fat, unathletic,
sloppy,
slobs,
fat slobs,
cattle.
Sometimes coaches will moo as we run by. Moo!
I'll say fat boys.
Fat boys.
The big uglies. Big uglies.
Big uglies, I mean, that's not a great nickname.
Big, like, ogre-looking dude.
I think we're big handsome, but whatever.
man, the list goes on and on.
People just don't get it. The offensive lineman is selfless. 5 guys with one collective mind. We are the engine of a team, the heartbeat of a team. Next to the quarterback, we are the smartest guys on the field. The skill, technique, and mental acumen are beyond comprehension for most. We're getting drafted higher and paid more. We move men from point A to point B against their will. To the point where their spirit breaks and their face is drained of life. We don't need the credit. We don't want the credit. We do it for each other. This would keep guys in the NFL a long time, right? Because a lot of, to your point, a lot of guys, they don't know what they're doing. They're going to be way too shallow in this block, and 31's going to go over top of them and make the play.
Great adjustment there by the guard, pulling around. Literally, that step and hinge is a step down, feel, and then you take this backside, hinge it back just to get him to widen just enough to hand the ball off, and he does it perfectly.
Duke Manyweather is a very passionate individual. He has worked his entire life to bring the best out of offensive linemen. Like, this guy eats and breathes and lives for the position.
This position, offensive line, means a lot to me. It's my life's work up to this point, and I take it very serious. See how it squares up? Cool. So that's really what the focus is going to be. I firmly believe that offensive line is viewed wrong, handled wrong, which makes the evaluation process oftentimes come up short, which makes the plan for development for offensive linemen fall short. But there's much more to the person that's behind the double-digit numbers and behind the face mask and behind the gloves and the knee braces than what appears to the average eye. I'm a student of the game that is in consistent pursuit of finding answers. And so what I do is I try to gather as much information. The aggregation of information is the important part to what I do. Motivation comes and goes, purpose is forever. And my dedication to the position and the message has been very clear since day one. Nipsey Hussle, if you want to change the game, never change the message. My message has been clear, and that's to elevate offensive line play as a position.
This is easily the best offensive line camp in the country. It's why the best of the best come here.
We've got a couple of national championships. We've got guys that have been All-Americans. We've got the cream of the crop of the Power 5 conferences and even small school gyms.
Lots of people want to come and train with Duke, but he makes sure that he chooses the right guys.
We have the best talent here in the country. It's unmatched. There is no other aggregation that is specifically training and developing offensive linemen that can come anywhere close to what we're doing here in Frisco, Texas.
Let's meet this year's crew. First up, Evan Neal, offensive tackle, collegiate champion, and future top 5 pick from Alabama, is a mountain of a man. With the nimble feet of a dancer, firing off the ball to engulf defenders, and opposing his will with sheer power. When his hands engage the defender in front of him, that rep is over. Next up, former 5-star offensive tackle Charles Cross is the future of our franchise at left tackle. This Bulldog for Mississippi State is an effortless pass protector. With his freakish balance and graceful dexterity, he protects his quarterback with breathtaking efficiency. Striking with his hands to control defenders, and in space, he's a heat-seeking missile looking to demolish anything that stands in his way. Next we have Darian Kennard, an award-winning lineman for Kentucky, his ultimate protector. One might think he derives his strength from his hair like Samson, but his personal drive to punish opponents that allows him to torque and displace his assignment. Next up, Trevor Penning is a diamond in the rough from Northern Iowa. He's a throwback lineman who uses brute force to punish opponents and disregard the whistle at times. He's able to torque defenders to the ground, showcasing his unique skill set at the Senior Bowl. This is only a prequel of his capabilities at the next level. Last, Andrew Stuber, the anchor on the Joe Moore Award-winning Michigan offensive line, is a run-blocking animal, using his power to crush defenders while working double teams. He's a smart, instinctive player who uses his knowledge of each play to work angles. When it's time to protect the quarterback, Stuber wins with sharp, jolting, independent strikes to keep rushers at his fingertips.
Yeah, we're about to run a sub 4.2. Yeah. It's out here turning and burning. I'm about to be running so fast. The rubber and the turf's about to stick to my cleats.
For offensive line, you really don't have many people that specialize in what Duke does, and so it just means everything. I'm just thankful to be here.
Might break the sound barrier. It's all up to the quads, though. It just really depends. Depends what they want to do. They want to work today? They want to work today? We're gonna be good. It'll be fine. But just gotta wake them up, get them going. Just gotta wake up the beast.
Definitely different being around all these different guys. I mean, you know, guys are kind of shooting for the same goal as I am, and it's been great. I mean, just being around all these, you know, guys that are, I mean, they're really good players. I mean, they're gonna be in the league too. So just, you know, iron sharpens iron. Duke's camp, you know, coming in here, a lot of these guys are first-round picks. You know, you're around the best players. That's how you get better. Just, you know, working with all these guys every day, getting better, improving each other, doing all the technique, all the weight room stuff, and really just seeing how you stack up with them. I mean, that really just helps you elevate your game to the next level.
So today's exploration day. It's not a mock combine, okay? What we're gonna try to do is implement some of the things we learned between the last combine, our video session, and today. So first thing is be bouncy, be relaxed, okay? No tension today. Be super bouncy, super relaxed. Second, continue our aggressive starts. They've been pretty good on this. And then third, most important, is a gradual raise of torso. Get a couple more starts, take a shit if you need to, get some water, and then we'll call you up, all right?
Not the typical cleats you'd wear in a game, but to do like L drill and 40 and stuff like that, it's kind of what you want to wear. Gotta make sure you're moving fast. Gotta make sure you look good too, not too.
Oh, he's touching everything.
Pause.
Belly breathe, come on.
As we try to get ahead of the curve, so to speak, it's imperative that the group that we surround ourselves with that are going to be providing these services to players that, you know, we're always looking, how do we improve? That way we can improve our players. So that's important to us because if we stay the same, eventually the gap is going to be closed by other people.
Thanks, Patrick. Many times you're hitting me, I better run a sub 4.5.
What we're saying now is for anything that is fast twitch, ballistic and explosive, there's great return. Some people say up to 24 hours, but
up to 6 months, actually, depending on how much stress you have.
Yeah, but realistically, what we're looking for is the impulse, kind of in the moment, within, you know, an hour or two of competition.
Get his jaw. Come here, you
Oh,
jaw.
Look at
his jaw. Jesus Christ. Another 300-pound man uses his speed bump on the way to the quarterback, and you're worried about me rubbing on your jaw?
That's yours.
Pause. 2,
Oh, man.
I know, I told you. You thought I was tripping.
No, I didn't. But when he said this is going to be the worst one, I'm like, what were the other ones?
Exactly. Exactly. I was like, what the hell is going on?
You know, this one kind of feels good.
I mean, their goal is to get drafted as high as possible, obviously, but associated to Duke will get you in a better place. NFL general managers absolutely reach out to Duke. They know and trust his insight into offensive linemen because, again, this is what he does. This is his passion. He lives for this. And he's right, more often than not, which is important, right? If you are going to train these players and you are bad at it, then no one's going to come to you. But he excels in getting these guys better.
This is gonna be fast. You're gonna feel the ground shake with Trevor Penning right here, and he's just really explosive, can generate a lot of force and power. .172. With the big guys, and Les can pretty much attest to this, a lot of times with the big guys, that first 5 and 10 we know is important, but they're actually really explosive in that first 5 and 10. And it's really the back end mechanics that a lot of the big guys can't hold up in terms of striking the ground underneath them, keeping the hips up tall, and keeping good posture.
Okay, look, if they weren't televising it, would you run naked? I said no, but I would run in a banana hammock. I said, I'll run just like this. Banana hammock, on the hips, boom. I'm getting nothing, no rubbing or chafing. I'm hitting the 4-4.
I mean, we all get along pretty well. I feel like everybody just wants to get each other better, and that's what's special about this whole thing.
Trevor, what are you doing? Take it down, man.
And football, it's a high competition sport. I mean, it's inevitable. You're going to compete, but, you know, having fun doing it at the same time, that's what's special.
Let's go! All right! Big guns, big nuts on 3. 1, 2, 3! Big guns, big nuts! Yes, sir! Bucky's!
Okay, let's look at your start. What did we fix on your back foot yesterday? Because when you leave the ground here, see how it's not productive? You haven't even started pushing until you get halfway through. Who do y'all got on this one? DK, who do you got?
5 yards, I got Charles.
Charles?
Yeah. Get out there, Charles. Yup. Yup. Ooh. 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 That's Charles. That's Charles. Yeah. Big boys. The best way I could describe myself is a wise man, a wise young man who has big dreams and goals. Even from a young age, I've been told, like, my dreams don't just come to you. You got to work for it. I knew when I was a little kid, I definitely wanted to go to the NFL, but you know, at the time, circumstances were rough. I've been through a lot of shit, dealt with a lot of shit, especially with me and my mom's. Single mother, dad was abusive towards me and her. You know, just that whole scenario. Mom's struggled paying rent, moved around a lot, bounced around, all we owes each other. I would most definitely do anything for my mom. You know, the shit we've been through, like I said, it's rough, it's hard, but I would do anything for her. I mean, I knew at the end of the day, like, I was gonna have her back and she was gonna have mine no matter what. So, just understanding that in life, nothing is given, everything's earned. My mom showed me that by being a high school dropout, selling drugs, stripping, to being a woman now with 4 degrees and halfway through 2 masters, like, by herself. So, just kind of like going through that was just, that whole process just kind of made me who I am. As a kid, when, you know, she would be always, like, very stressed, and, you know, I would like hold her, you know, because she was just freaking out, crying, like, not knowing what to do sometimes. But the days that she was happy, she would She would tell me things might be stressful, things might be tough, but it'll always get better. Having just my mom and me being, told like I need to be the man of the house, I think the best fit for me was being a protector. So yeah, I can be aggressive, but I also have a job protecting something. The quarterback is like my mother. This is my family. And I'm protecting my family.
The battle between offensive linemen and defensive linemen is the ultimate chess match.
I look at, offensive line and defensive line play as a different game of its own because there isn't a ball involved. That's for the skilled players. Offensive linemen have to try to move a man out of the way against his will. It's a different game that goes on in the trenches for sure.
You got defensive linemen that are former sprinters, that are former basketball players, former hurdlers. Defensive linemen that are already a naturally more athletic group are asked to go forward, which is natural.
I mean, of course, you've got a guy who's a freak athlete, probably 280, running a 4.4, and you're over here probably a sloppy 320, and you're trying to go backwards and block him, especially when he's coming at you full force. You have to have insanely good technique, good hand placement, good eye level. That's not including the stunts of the defense, rotations, not knowing what moves he's about to throw. His length, if he has longer arms than you, you have to have better leverage with him. You have to get his hands off. Everything's just a mind game.
Now we're asked to move backwards and retreat while stopping a better athlete that is doing something natural versus us retreating in something that we've tried to perfect as a learned skill and a learned part of our craft to halt them, to protect our quarterback. That's a difficult thing to do. Being an offensive lineman is not all about size. It's about being gritty. It's about the perfect balance between being a complete asshole and then being in control.
If you would have asked me what's my favorite thing about football, just ask that.
What is your favorite thing about football?
Legally assaulting the person across from me.
Yeah, you know what time it is. What time? I hope the competition ready because I came here with a fire lit. We ready for war. Let's go. We ready for war. Yeah. I'm coming in hot like a fire. They know that I got it. I hope they come with it. I got all the skill and this talent. They know the young and is gifted. Look at me go. Look at me go. Look at me go. Yeah, I do the most. Look at me go. Look at me go. Look at me go. Yeah, I do the most.
I take out my stress on opposing defenses because if I get mad that a person skips me in line, I can't pancake block them. I get arrested. So I'll pancake a guy on the field.
We love what we do because there's no other place in the world where you can physically beat on someone and not get in trouble for it.
You got to be a protector. You kind of got to have that nature, but you also got to have a nasty streak as well.
I treat my quarterback like I have a little brother, and I'm not gonna let nobody mess with my little brother. So I'm protecting him at all costs.
You gotta be, you gotta wanna take out your anger on the guy across from you. I mean, that's just how a line needs to be played and should be played.
You have to have a couple screws loose, playing in the trenches because it's contact every play, every single play. You can't dodge it. There's no way around it. You're not gonna miss it. You're gonna get contact every single play, and that's what I love about offensive line play.
Yeah. I mean, simple answer. Yeah, I love contact.
You gotta be nasty. You gotta want to put that other guy's face in the dirt. You want to drive that guy that you're blocking in the sidelines, into the turf every play.
That's what football is. It's a control war. It's taking ground and giving ground. In an offensive line, you're right on the front line, so basically you're infantry.
Once the bullets start flying, it's on.
Ready for war, ready for war. You better prepare 'cause we coming for you.
My family motivates me. Just seeing how hard that my mom and dad work They had a lot of kids, man. It was a lot of us growing up in that house, and just a lot of times I don't really even understand how they did it a lot of times, like holidays and birthdays, how they made it work, you know. So just seeing them every day, you know, just do their best with their kids, man. That definitely plays a big role in why I work as hard, why I do the things that I do, because I want to give back to them, you know, the things that they gave me. I know I'd never be able to, you know, repay them for all the love and wisdom and everything they've invested in me, but I definitely want to give them as much as I can, for sure, because without them, I would not be here. I would not be the man that I am. Well, I sprouted at birth. I was 11 pounds, 22.5 inches, and my family likes to make fun of me and say I came back from the hospital sitting up in the car seat, so it's always been big, man, always.
Here come that train, move so fast. Get out of the way, stand on the track.
The 8th grade, whenever I first started playing spring football, whenever you can transition into 9th grade spring ball, I was 378 pounds. So I always was just a really big guy, but I was athletic. I carried my weight good, I moved good for my weight. So throughout high school, I never really felt like I had to lose weight or anything like that, because it didn't really get in the way of my play.
I came across Evan Neal in 2018 at the Nike opening regional camp down in Miami. You know, we kind of talked to him about, hey, you got a future in this business, but you can't be 390 pounds. And then I'll never forget Brian Balaga, at the time was playing for the Green Bay Packers, a really good friend of mine. And Brian said, hey, this Evan Neal kid, this kid could be really good. He goes, I just had a conversation with him about his weight and how he can't be 390 pounds.
Brian Balaga, he said, if I was a GM, I wouldn't draft you because you're too big. And that kind of scared me a little bit, and it resonated with me, because I took it serious, man, because I'm like, man, this guy's in the NFL. He said he wouldn't draft me. I'm not getting drafted. So I'm like, man, I got to do something.
So I think Evan really took that to heart, coming from Brian Balaga, to really get his body weight down, and he's been dominant at Alabama and has maintained that body weight, being in a really good place for a guy his size. Evan's rare combination of size, agility, power, his ability to bend, even as a high school athlete who was overweight at the time, was really impressive to us. Evan is interesting because he's got a level of intensity to him where oftentimes people don't know how to approach it. But then he carries that over to the field. And when he carries that over to the field, that intensity turns up even higher. And what you see is the final product of driving people to the sideline.
We know that our feet are our foundation, right? It's how we do everything. It's how we move. We gotta take care of them. Gotta make sure their dogs are barking good, everything's good. So tonight, as a group, we're all getting a pedicure together. We're going after this. We're gonna sit down, the 5 of us, me and Duke. We're gonna handle our feet. They're gonna be rubbed, massaged, smoothed out. Yes, question.
Are they gonna be big enough to fit the dogs?
I have a size 18, you'll be just fine. Are there NIL deals for pedicures now?
Probably, I ain't checked.
I wish they had them.
That's something we should look into. We're doing an NIL collective for offensive linemen for pedicures. Where's your college town?
Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Yeah, there's none there, are there?
There's probably none there.
Charles is super pumped. Check out excited he is.
I've been meaning to get a pedicure.
Here's the best part, buddy. You are driving us in your minivan. Let's go. Everything in the minivan, and we're going over there all together as a group to get our feet done, to have some camaraderie, to hang out, and just talk shop.
Stu drives a minivan. I was like shocked when I first found out he was driving a minivan, because I was like, dude, why don't you just get like a Charger or Challenger or something? He's like, they're not big on this. I'm like, that sucks.
Stu drives a minivan. I find it hilarious.
I drive a white minivan right now. That's my baby. Real men drive minivans. You know, anyone who wants to drive a minivan is pretty badass, in my opinion.
There she is. Big rule, no farting in the minivan.
Oh,
Hey, boys.
you want to get the legs up? Oh, my God.
Get in, man.
Oh, my God. Don't fit. I'm
Wow.
We're in. Oh, we're all in. We're in. Let's go, baby. All right, gentlemen. Welcome to the Stew Bus. Let's get out of here.
All right,
We're off.
Seatbelts, everybody.
See, I don't know why they think I'm some regular chick. Like, what? I don't really ever do no regular-ish. Who he think he talking to, a regular chick? Flintstone rock stay all on my wrist. 40-ounce booty, real thick in the hips. Ain't no regular, schmegular. Money on my cellular. Diamonds on my body, big brick, drop the temperature. I don't really ever do no regular-ish. Who he think he talking to, a regular chick? I just dropped 10 bands up at Louis V. He said, girl, you stupid there, you the booty queen. He wanted threesome, it ain't two of me. You can have it your way, this ain't Burger King. I don't really ever do no regular-ish. Who he think he talking to, a regular chick?
Okay, so Evan has the worst feet. Okay, good. But like, so you spent all that signing bonus money on pedicures in Jacksonville. Good, sorry.
They not that bad. I mean, look, they're a little thick, they're a little sharp, may have a little fungus, but they
It's a little bit funky, man.
They ain't all that bad, man.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of funky, man.
I got the fungus too. You okay?
That was a very interesting feeling I got right there.
You all right, buddy?
He's just talking and just left.
Does it hurt?
Oh,
Tickles?
No, it tickled. It tickled.
Is this what you expected it to be?
Did I?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Look at that big toe, man. That's got a thumb. Look at that thing. Look at that. Look real. It looks like a thumb.
Yeah, they said you couldn't play tackle because you had short arms for a big guy.
No, they said I couldn't play tackle because I was fat and couldn't move.
Well, you are fat.
I'll look it up right now.
But you're more ugly than fat.
Too bad I wear a helmet then. Andrew, who's the first guy when you watch NFL film that you wanna block? Like I gotta test myself against this kid.
I want revenge against Aiden.
Aiden?
Yeah. I never got Aiden in game. I only got him in practice. So like, I mean, obviously it was a little different, but I want to block him like what he's like.
I'm gonna block him. Evan, what about you? Who you watching? You're like, I want to test myself against him.
I'll probably say somebody like TJ Watt or I'm not keeping 100 with you. I don't really watch much. I mean, really whoever. I'm gonna block whoever.
Trevor's like, I just want to block someone. Who do you want to block? He's like, I'm gonna block everybody, all at once.
I'd probably go with TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. DK.
I'd say Von Miller or
We'll take Von Miller.
or
Strong ambitions.
I like Josh Allen. I like
the pass rusher, Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Charles?
I won't play against Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
Let's hope he fucking retires.
Yeah.
No, I just won't play against him though.
Here's the thing about Aaron Donald is there's one guy I've seen really, Joe Tooney, in a playoff game play well against him because Joe's like 6'3", compact, gets off the ball, gets hands inside of him. He with him, man, like you got to jump his ass now, get your hands on him, and try to hug him. You got to try to like hug him up, because one thing he does best, better than anything else, is he beats double teams. Like if you have help from the center, he knows he beats you off your outside. Like the game-winning hit in the Super Bowl, the center was coming to the left guard. Just beat him up the field. Beat him up the field, man. Oh, good luck with him.
Charles is probably the quietest of the group. He sticks to himself, but the thing I like about Charles is he's super motivated, he's super quiet, gets his work done. And yeah, I kind of love talking to him. He's a freak athlete as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, Charles, super athletic. He's just a freak. he's built. He looks like he's about 260, but he's like just solid, lean muscle. He's huge. I mean, he's a hell of a football player.
I work very hard. I try to just get 1% better each day. Every day, day by day, I just try to stack days to get better. Little kid, I always enjoyed watching it, playing it. And I knew since I was little, I always wanted to play in the NFL. My family motivates me mostly. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, they've been there for me since I was little. It is my dream to one day play in the NFL. I feel like having them around in my corner really helps me a lot. I want it very bad. The draft day, I'm probably gonna be very emotional. I'm gonna get my mom a house. That's the first thing I wanna get. Why? Because she deserves it.
You know you liked it.
All right, hey, stop.
I mean, we gotta scream, gotta do it, bro.
Gotta do it.
Gotta get out the way, unless we sound like a bitch. You look so uncomfortable.
I am. Okay.
Act like you're macking on a pretty lady across the street. What's up, baby?
Offensive linemen, if you're outside the group, you definitely think we're weirdos.
Yeah. You got him with the...
But offensive linemen, I feel like we're categorized as weird because we're misunderstood.
Lock in, lock in, lock in. Longer, longer, longer.
Our kind of position doesn't get much glory, doesn't get much, fame, but, there's such a bond between all of us that we like to have fun with each other, we like to laugh. And I'd say, like, every person I talk to on the team, they say the O-line's the most fun group. They have the most fun, and that's because, we enjoy what we do, and we love it.
Yeah, don't worry about these. Don't look at these guys. That's right.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. The way his face looked at, it's like he was scared or something. It's fucking weird, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. It's the reason why we can bond so well with each other, especially like a lot of these guys in the locker room. First coming in, it takes like 3 days, but then they realize we're just as weird as everybody else. So I think the bond that really unites a lot of linemen is just being fucking weird.
Okay, we need one smiling, okay?
No, can't.
Trevor Penny's probably the most odd. I mean, he comes from Northern Iowa, so he's kind of a country guy, kind of a quiet kid.
I call Penning a gorilla.
Trevor, man. He's just Trevor.
Coming in here from Northern Iowa, a small school, I'm coming in here, I was kind of looking at these guys, I'm like, shoot, these guys played in the SEC, Big Ten, all these big conferences, and kind of came in wanting to, prove I belong, and, working out with them every day and just seeing what they're all made of and what I'm made of. It's been really awesome to see that I fit in. Yeah, definitely have a chip on my shoulder. I know Iowa and Iowa State, they didn't talk to me at all coming out of high school, and that was really disappointing to me. But I know this year we're going to play Iowa State. Literally just thinking about that, I was like, man, these guys didn't want me at all. They didn't talk to me at all. So I wanted to go out there and show them like they screwed up and made sure they knew that they screwed up. It wasn't always this big. It was definitely not always this big. I gotta show you the picture of what I looked like before. I have one from my recruiting visit. Like when I took my official visit there, that was rough. I'm actually wearing a Kickers jersey, because I was number 58 in high school, and they put us in our number from high school, and the number 58 jersey is actually a Kickers jersey, and I wore it, and it was maybe a little tight, but for an O-lineman, like a little tight, that thing should not be able to fit you. Whew. I look like a child. Coming into Northern Iowa, I really had to put on the weight and size and strength just to be able to play at the FCS level, adding about close to 100 pounds almost during my college time, and it's been crazy. Thinking back to high school, I mean, no way I would have thought I'd be getting my name called in the draft at all, but let alone potentially first round. It's crazy to me to think, but it just really shows, what hard work can really do to you, and all the hours I've put in, and just how I've improved myself as a person. It really shows off.
Food regimen here, definitely a lot more than O-linemen are used to, especially in college. Before I came here, I'd eat maybe twice a day. I wouldn't even really eat breakfast. And I know a lot of the guys here did the same. So when we came in, they were like 3 meals a day. But let's get off rib, let's go. I'm like, slow down, please. Yeah, my body was not ready for the amount of food I have to consume now.
Food intake can be tough, definitely, because there's a fine balance between like managing weight versus overeating versus kind of undereating. So it can be tough as a lineman. A lot of people think you just, keep eating food. You can't do that or you get way too big. So food intake is tough. Definitely something we need nutritionists for, and you definitely need more calories than you think.
Yeah, it's a lot of food. But one point in time, my freshman year of college, I used to take in probably like about 10,000 calories. After a while, I just got tired of eating.
I like to let it sit there for a little bit.
How was it?
Just go! Oh my God!
Might not look like it. We are the smartest guys in the field. You cannot play this position if you are a dummy.
You definitely have to be smart. You have to know your X's and O's to be an offensive lineman, definitely, especially when you're blocking for franchise quarterbacks. You know, you don't want to get them sacked or hit on a missed assignment for sure. So you definitely have to know your stuff.
So Trevor, you're left guard. We know we got 3 for 3 over here. Mm-hmm. You have 1, 2, 3, and you have 1 and 2. As a left guard, what's your thought kind of in this look and how you're going to handle, and just you two to block those 3?
Well, in college, what we would do is empty protection. We would have we call it a double Jordan, which is basically 2 to block 3.
Yeah.
So, with this linebacker, if he would have, shoot the gap, I would have to squeeze down on him. He would have to take the D tackle here, and then we'd have to leave he'd be the hot on the quarterback. If he drops, then it's just, man on man with these 2. But that's what we do. We just call it alert squeeze, double Jordan.
What are you thinking at left tackle, anyone?
Yeah, I'm gonna just play the big dude. Yeah. Like you said, if he calms down with just squeeze, but if he doesn't, if he drops, we're gonna be man on these 2 guys right here.
Let's say these guys are coming down, right? We're cheating right here for some sort of, maybe some Mike Sam pressure, and you have a slide this way, right? You have a 3 jets. You're the center right here. You guys have ID'd this right here, okay? It's your guy, right? But it's very clearly, he's kind of cheating back over here. You see this pressure, you see the safety cheat over, right? The safety down right here. How are you guys getting your line to change the protection to block the guys that are coming rather than wasting time blocking someone who's not coming? What are we doing?
So let's say we're IDing him on a rip call. We would then, if we saw this guy come down, left tackle would yell out a blaze call, and we'd switch the ID from here to here. Basically, we have these 3. The running back would basically own him to anyone else.
Defensive linemen only have to chase the quarterback. We have to know where he's going, where the linebacker's going, where the safety's going, what our play is, what our protection is. There's so much more to offensive line that people don't know about. So let's say, right, so this is the look right here, right? So we have the double team kind of centers going front side, cut off here. How are you gonna account for this new defender now? Before the snap, are we saying, hey man, we gotta find a way to now re-ID to block this guy? Just let him go?
It really depends on the zone scheme. And like what we did in college, if we had a motion like this, we just call it spot call basically. So it's a 3-step decision on your outside zone work, footwork. So it's kind of 1, 2, 3. This guy plays more front side, he's not in your gap. This guy kind of follows the play, follows the motion. Then you would just take him if he falls there. But if he still plays back and this guy's still sitting in your gap, you'd have to take the original ID. You have to be very smart to be an lineman. Like you can't freeze up in the moment. If you're a deer in the headlights, you're getting run over, just like pretty much any deer out there.
Stuber is one of the most intelligent offensive linemen in the draft. Stuber was the anchor of the Joe Moore Award-winning Michigan offensive lineman. The Joe Moore Award recognizes the best offensive line in the country, and it's the only award given to an entire unit. It's the holy grail of awards at this position.
Yeah, that was a huge honor. That's something that Coach Jerome Moore, every day, starting from day 1 of camp, he put up where our goals would be. And the first picture was always the Joe Moore Award. And he said, we are the heartbeat of this team. We set the expectation, we set the tone. And this is where we need to be to lead this team to have a successful season. So that was a goal in mind the whole season. And we just kind of took it day by day, started practice strong, grind with each other. If it's done right, my position should be brutal for one side only. Coach Harbaugh always says you'd rather be the hammer than the nail, and that's kind of the ideal way to play offensive line. I think for a unit, it kind of sets a foundation for where Michigan should be. They have a great history of producing great offensive linemen, and that's what that trophy should be, in my opinion.
future is bright for these 5 guys. They're gonna play right away. They have the opportunity to shine at the next level and show everybody the progress made at this camp, help them get to where they are.
Ever since I first strapped on a helmet, I had dreams of playing in the NFL, and for that to materialize in my face at times, it almost doesn't even feel like it's real. Sometimes I have to pinch myself, you know, but it's just all a blessing, man. And
it is my dream to one day play in the NFL. At draft day, I'm probably gonna be very emotional. At the moment, it probably feels surreal. I feel like there'll be a big moment in my life, something I'll never forget.
Hearing my name get called at the NFL draft would feel amazing, feel unreal, like surreal. I mean, it'd feel like a movie, basically. I can't just imagine it. I've dreamed of it before, so it'd definitely be a crazy feeling. I mean, everything I've done in college and high school has led me to this point. With every fiber of my being, I want to play in the NFL.
Absolutely, 100% want to play in the NFL. Obviously, that's a dream come true. I mean, I've dreamed about it my whole life. I mean, to think it's a possibility, incredible.
These men get ready for the next phase of their life. A common bond is shared. A brotherhood has been made. They're about to be reborn, representing a city's hope and a fan base's dream. They will be protecting a new hero while they continue to get none of the glory. You won't have their jerseys. Their posters won't be on your wall. But I hope you have a new appreciation for the big boys.